Before the gods were born, before Zeus, before the ancient titans, before the light of the sun or the whisper of wind through forest leaves, the universe was nothing but an endless, yawning void. No day, no night, no earth to tread upon, no sky to gaze at. All that existed was something the ancients spoke of with trembling awe: chaos. No one truly knew what chaos was. It had no face, no form. It was not a god, nor a place, but the embodiment of pure nothingness, a boundless space where time had no meaning and existence had yet to begin. Yet from that very nothingness, something miraculous stirred: creation. Chaos, the first space, mother of all things. Chaos. In the ancient Greek tongue, it meant not confusion, but a yawning gap, a vast and gaping nothingness, not a storm of disorder, but a bottomless chasm, silent, formless, eternal. Before there was light, before even the idea of shadow, there was chaos. No sky, no earth, no time, no direction, just a breathless void, stretching forever. Chaos was not a god, not a place you could walk upon, not a creature you could see. Chaos was the canvas before the painting, the inhale before the universe exhaled its first spark, the first sigh of existence, deep, empty, and unknowably ancient. In this void, there was no light, but neither was there darkness, for there was no division yet. No good, no evil, no right, no wrong. There were no words to name such things, for no beings existed yet to speak them. All that was waiting, a terrifying stillness. But within that stillness lay the greatest force of all, potential. And then, from that deep, eternal emptiness, the first primordial entities began to stir, not with thunder, not with fire, but as whispers, as if the void itself was beginning to breathe. One by one, they emerged, each not born, but simply appearing, like the sudden flash of lightning across a moonless sky. Gaia, the earth, the fertile mother. Tartarus, the deep abyss, the lowest shadow. Eros, the raw, unshaped force of love and desire. Erebus, the mist of darkness. Nyx, the velvet night. Each of them stepped forth from chaos, not crafted, not summoned, but manifested, pure expressions of the chaos itself. They were seeds, scattered into a soil that did not yet exist. Raw energy, given presence, each with a destiny, each with a role to play in the formation of all things. And from them, slowly, silently, the first threads of the cosmos began to weave together. The Greek universe was not built in a flash of divine will, but grown, layer by layer, from the breath of nothing into everything. Gaia, Mother Earth, and the birth of the world. When chaos cracked open and darkness still licked at the edges of the void, Gaia emerged, not with a roar of thunder nor a blinding flash of light, but as a quiet, powerful presence. She was not created. Gaia simply was, like the earth itself, rising from the very first heartbeat of the cosmos. Gaia was not a woman in the literal sense, but to the ancient Greeks, she was always envisioned as a nurturing mother, fertile soil beneath bare feet, towering mountains that touched the clouds, endless valleys, and rolling fields. She was the embodiment of the first true home, the foundation upon which all things could be born and dwell. From within herself, Gaia gave birth to Uranus, the sky, a vast being who stretched across the heavens, cloaking Gaia's enormous form like a warm blanket covering the earth. And between earth and sky, life began to stir. Not trees, not animals, but the first primordial beings, the titans, the one-eyed cyclopes, and the hundred-handed Cinemanes. Strange, gigantic, fearsome, each of them a force of nature, each one an essential gear in the great machine now taking shape, the world. But not all stories begin with love and end in peace. For Uranus, though vast and celestial, possessed a jealous, tyrannical heart. He feared his children. He feared their power, their potential, a force running wild in their blood, beyond his control. So every time Gaia gave birth to a new child, Uranus forced them back into her womb, into the very belly of the earth, burying them beneath her skin, as if to silence them forever. And the pain was unbearable. It was not just physical, it was spiritual. Gaia, the great mother of all, had become a prison to her own children. She groaned. She trembled. No longer the peaceful nurturer, Gaia began to seethe. A quiet, molten rage, like magma building pressure beneath the crust. Until finally, she made a decision. She would rise. She would resist. The overthrow of Uranus and the rise of the Titans. Gaia's fury was not a wildfire rage. It was slow, silent, and intelligent. It was the wrath of a mother betrayed. She did not scream. She did not thrash. Instead, she forged her vengeance in the shadows, as if every grain of earth moved in quiet obedience to her will. She summoned her children, the Titans, the monsters, the imprisoned giants still trapped within her womb, within her own flesh. She whispered to them. She told them the truth. Uranus, their so-called father, the endless sky they had known all their lives, was not a god to whom they owed eternal loyalty. He had choked the future in its cradle, and for that, he must fall. But fear ran deeper than rage. The Titans remained silent. Oceanus turned away. Hyperion couldn't meet his mother's eyes. Ceus, Crius, Thea, all stood in shameful stillness. All but one. Cronus stepped forward, his eyes gleaming like fire bursting through the night. Cronus, youngest of the Titans. Cronus, the Titan of time. Clever, cold, calculating. He did not only loathe his father, he desired his throne. Gaia saw her chance. From the depths of the earth, she drew forth a sickle, forged from adamant, sharper than lightning, colder than the sea at midnight. She handed it to Cronus. And together, in the silence of the cosmic dark, they drew up their plan. Then came the night of reckoning. Uranus descended once more, blanketing Gaia as he always had, the sky folding over the earth like a lover's embrace. But this time, Gaia did not embrace him back. She lay still, unmoving stone. And from the shadows, Cronus struck. No warning, no mercy. With a single slash, the sickle sliced through Uranus, severing his genitals, the very source of his power, his creation, his control. Uranus screamed, a sound so primal it tore through the stars, echoing into eternity. His blood fell upon the earth, and from that sacred, furious blood, new beings were born. The Erinyes, goddesses of vengeance. The Gigantes, giants of battle. And the Meliae, ash tree nymphs, spirits of nature and storm. But from the white foam that dripped into the ocean, something even stranger occurred. From the sea's embrace rose Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, so breathtaking that even the winds fell silent in her presence. Uranus, stripped of his might and glory, vanished into the shadows, his voice now only a whisper across the sky. But before he disappeared, he cast a curse upon Cronus. You, too, shall be betrayed by your own child, as you have betrayed me. From that night forward, the sky and the earth would never touch again. And Cronus became the new king of the cosmos, the ruler of the Titans. But with the throne, he had also inherited the ancient curse, a seed of tragedy already taking root in the soil of destiny. Chaos and the traces left within us. Even as the final pages of Greek mythology close, chaos does not vanish. It is not defeated. It is not destroyed. It is never truly forgotten. Because chaos was never something you could touch, never someone you could fight. Chaos is not a god, nor a monster. It is the origin, the purest essence of what came before everything else. It is the quiet space between the stars, the hesitation before a choice is made, the distant call from a dream you can't quite understand. Chaos is the unknown that still lives within us all. It was the beginning, but also a whisper, echoing through time, reminding us that even the firmest order was once born from disorder, that before there was love, Eros, before there was earth and sky, Gaia and Uranus, there was only uncertainty. And in every soul, in every culture that's ever risen and fallen, chaos still lingers, not as a threat, but as instinct, as fear, as creativity waiting to awaken. When we look into chaos, we do not see destruction. We see something unwritten, a night sky without stars, not empty, but waiting to shine, a melody not yet composed, a story not yet told. It was from this space of possibility that mythology was born. From that same stillness, the universe stretched its limbs for the first time. And from that silence, humanity took its first steps in search of meaning. So if you ever find yourself lost in your own chaos, if the world around you begins to fall apart, If the ground beneath your feet feels like it's giving way, don't be afraid. Remember, even the gods, mighty and immortal, were once born from chaos. And maybe, just maybe, in your darkest and most disoriented moment, you will discover your own inner light, not despite the chaos, but because of it. Because chaos is not the end. It is not a punishment. It is an invitation, a chance to begin again, from the very place where everything once began.